Hello everyone, welcome to another video here on our channel, and today we're here in Curitiba to visit the Talento Factory, which will show us the production process of oil paints. That's right. Are you curious? Shall we take a look?
Let's go.
Guys, the production of oil paints is a very complex process that ends up involving several steps to guarantee the quality and consistency of the final product. Here we are going to show you one of the very detailed forms of this process. The process starts right here in the lab, with careful selection of the highest quality pigments. Pigments are the powdered colored substances that give paint its color. In addition, the eyes are chosen to act as a vehicle and binder for the pigments. The most common oils used are linseed or poppy or safflower oils. I had the honor of participating in this first stage of choosing the pigment, the amount of oil that goes in it, and whether or not additives will be added. What is additives? Additives are substances added to paint to improve its characteristics. They can be drying agents, stabilizers, antifungals, and so on. Just to remind you guys, it's important to note that the amount, the proportion of each ingredient, varies according to your pigment. There are pigments that need additives and there are pigments that need few additives. So, it is here in the laboratory that the recipe for this paint is made, and then it goes to mass production. So, after this recipe is approved, it goes to mass production. In this step the pigments, the linseed oil and the additive are separated in their exact proportions, and a scale is used for this. Soon afterwards they are placed in a mixer to be very homogeneous. The pigments are mixed with the chosen oils in specific proportions. The amount of oil can affect the consistency of the paint, determining whether it will be denser or more fluid. It is worth noting once again that each pigment reacts differently from the other.
And this is the great difficulty of making oil paint.
After the homogenization of this mixture, it goes straight to the mill. Grinding is crucial for evenly dispersing the pigments in the oil and preventing clumps in the paint. Here we have 3-roller mill. The first milling stage uses only 2 rollers. This first stage is, as I said, it is for dispersing the pigments. Now let's go to the second stage of the mill, which is to pull the 3rd roller over to remove the ready-made paint. Check it out. After this stage, the paint is kept in jars for months so that it can later undergo quality tests. Samples are taken for this quality test, and these tests may include color, viscosity, drying, stability tests, and only after passing these tests does it go to the invasion and labeling. But Talento doesn't just make oil paint, this is the water-based paint preparation laboratory. You see, it's almost the same process as we did back there. Here the ink recipe is created so that it can then go to large-scale production.
Here we see the viscosity test. This machine measures the viscosity of the paint.
For water-based paints, this machine here measures the pH of the paint. After all this process and ink approval, it goes to high-scale production. Here in this case, the ink passes through the mixer. For bottling, the paint is placed in a tube with a kind of funnel so that the machine puts the exact proportion to the tube. Here we have a transparent plastic tube, and the advantage of this tube is that you can already see the color of the paint without having to rely on the label. Depending on the ink is invaded in tubes, pots, or vials. Labels are placed afterwards, with information about the color, the type of oil or acrylic resin used, and other relevant information. Depending on the ink, they are vacuum packed together or in boxes for protection during shipment. Inks are stored under controlled conditions to ensure they remain fresh and of high quality. Here the paints are waiting to be distributed to points of sale, such as stores, online suppliers, or even artists and studios. Artists can choose from a huge variety of colors, ink types, according to their creative needs. Well folks, and this was our visit to the Talento Factory, which makes acrylic paints, water-based paints, oil paints. They make a lot of things there. They make varnish. In short, they produce a lot of things there. This was just a little bit for you to see how an oil paint is made. Remembering that we have here our kit that we developed together with Talento, we went there to visit the factory to see the quality standards for us to be able to make this partnership here. If you want to buy this kit so you can paint anything, you don't just need to paint indigenous faces. It's common oil paint, including an exclusive color that is skin color number 4, Skin 4, which is a color that I developed to paint my natives, but it is very good for making paths, landscape paths. I use this mixture a lot here to make landscape paths. I've taught you many times. And remembering that we also have an online course on painting indigenous faces, link in the description too. Leave in the comments what you thought of this visit, if this is how you imagined a paint factory was, and if you want to see more, right here in the comments. Soon we will release a video showing how screen production works at Talento too, okay? They also make screens, we show you. Until the next video, bye, gone.